Codex by OpenAI is not just for coding, it's also really good at knowledge work. Things like creating files on your computer, generating personalized infographics, automating tasks like emails, and building custom dashboards tailored on your needs. At first glance though, Codex can look very intimidating. In fact, it will only take you about 15 minutes to really master everything you need to get started. This is Codex. It is really just an app for your computer. Now this may look very similar to ChatGPT, and indeed it can do a lot of things similar to ChatGPT. But the way Codex works are fundamentally different with ChatGPT. Everything you create lives in the cloud. Codex, on the other hand, will interact and create files directly on your computer. If you ever use Claude Cowork, this idea will feel very similar. In fact, many people are calling Codex the Claude Cowork killer. To get started, you have to download the Codex app. You can find this at chatgpt.com/codex. Here's a button to download it. So I'll click on that, then open it up. The first thing it will ask you to do is to sign in with your ChatGPT account. So the good news is, if you have a ChatGPT subscription, Codex is included as a part of that at no additional cost. So I'll click here where it says continue with ChatGPT. Then I'll sign into my ChatGPT account, and that will then authorize Codex. And now Codex is ready to be used. Everything starts right here in this chat box. And to stay as organized as possible, you want to work inside of folders on your computer, or as Codex calls them, projects. But projects are really just folders that exist on your computer. So right here on the drop down, you can select a folder that is going to be turned into a Codex project. So I'll click on add new project. That will then bring you Finder, and then you can select the folder you want to work inside of. Or if you want to set up a brand new folder for this project, just click on the new folder. But here I have a folder that contains a bunch of receipts from a trip that I recently took. So I'm going to select that folder, click on open right here. You can see that this folder now is selected. It says receipts, and over here on the left under projects, we see receipts. So this project is now matched up with that folder. So let's ask it to do something for us. I'll tell it to, let's say, create an Excel file that categorizes all of these receipts with a breakdown of each expense and the total cost for the trip. Right here, we can select the model that we want to use. So clicking on the drop down right here, you can see the model. I'm going to leave it on GPT 5.5, which is current latest model. And you can select the intelligence level from low to extra high. For most tasks, I've been running it on medium and high and getting great results with that. So I'll leave it on medium and then I'll send it along. Now it's done. You can see right here that it created for me this Excel file. And what's really nice about Codex is that you can also click on that and it actually opens it up for you in the side panel. So I don't have to open this up in Microsoft Excel to see it. Right here inside of Codex, and clicking on the top here, it actually gives us multiple tabs of all different categorizations that it did based on these receipts. Now what you can also do is, let's go ahead and collapse this by clicking on the top right here to collapse this. And I can click on this down arrow, click open in folder, and here you can see all of the receipts that I uploaded and the Excel file in here. So once again, these Excel files are every file created by Codex lives in your computer. You own it. Of course, you're not just limited to Excel files though. Codex can actually make pretty much any type of file. So let's click on the top left. Here's where it says new chat, and I'll show you another use case. This time, instead of typing out my prompt, I'll dictate it to Codex. I'll click on this and just tell what I want. Let's say figure out our brand color, font and brand styling by visiting our website b10x.com, and from that I want you to create a markdown file that contains what is essentially my brand kit, so that we can follow that in future to make sure that anything we create stays on brand. Now because this is completely different from the last use case, we'll create a new project. I'll click on the drop down here and click on an add project. I'll put this inside of here. I'll select new folder and call this one brand guide and then click on open. So now we have this new project. We have our prompt and I can send it along. So this is likely going to take a few minutes and I don't want to have to stay focused on Codex while this is working. So what I'll do is I'll come over to chats here. You can see these underneath the project and start a new chat. Any chat you start inside of this section are not tied to a project. Generally speaking, I suggest that you start every chat inside a project, but there are times where it doesn't really make sense and you just want a one-off chat. And this is an example of that because I want to show you a really cool feature inside of Codex that is more important than it seems. Once you come into a new chat, type / and then type in pet. Right here, you will see command that says wake or tuck away the desktop pet. Select that, and now on the bottom right, you have your little pet jumping around. Now this is cute, but the real purpose of this is that you can multitask, like maybe go browse something on the web, and this will alert you when something needs your attention. So right here you can see that this is working on creating your brand kit, but there's a little bit of alert here telling you need to do something. So I'll click on this. That will then bring me over to that chat, and you can see right here, it's asking me for permission to allow access. So I'll click on submit. Now you can see it working. So once again, I can return to a fresh chat, do anything else I want, or maybe browse the web, and this will alert me if that task that's running needs my attention again. So now that task is done, and I know that even though I'm not inside the Codex app because my pet has this green circle over here, that lets me know that a task is complete and I can open it up. Click on it and come right over to the task. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. Here is our brand kit. And once again, this is inside the same folder that we created. Now using this, I want to show you something else you can do with Codex using the skills. Skills are a set of instructions for Codex. Whenever you involve a certain skill, Codex will load those instructions. It means you never have to repeat yourself ever again. So let's try it out. I'll collapse the side panel and I'll just tell it to create a skill called on brand. Every time I use it, apply the brand kit to whatever I'm having to make. So notice that I'm not going to settings to create a skill. I just literally tell Codex to create a skill for me, and it's going to do that. And you can do this for anything. Or if Codex makes something for you that is just perfect, you can say that was great. Now turn that into a skill so we can do it again the same exact way in the future. The skill is now created, so let's test it out. I'll start a new chat, and this time I'll point it at a folder that I've created in the past that contains all of my presentations. Then I'll tell it, do some research on OpenAI's Codex versus Claude's Cowork. Create an infographic with your findings. To invoke the skill, I'll then do and type in the same name of the skill which is on brand. You can see it pops up here, so I'll select it. It then knows that it should be using the brand kit to create this infographic. Because that is what the skill will tell it to do. So sending this along, it will begin getting to work. And this is using OpenAI's latest image generation model, Images 2.0, which is widely considered the best image generation model in the world. And looking at the results, you can see why that is. Let's have Codex do something more advanced now, email triage. This will introduce a few new concepts that will help you get the most out of Codex. Back on the home page, I set up a new project called emails. Now I will tell it to set up an email triad system. I want you to be able to scan through my email inbox, draft replies in my tone of voice, and based on how I have previously responded to emails, I want everything sort of tailored to the way that I have worked. I want you to learn and adapt over time to get better at helping me with my emails. Now, if we were to just send this prompt to Codex, it wouldn't actually be able to do this for me because Codex isn't connected up with my Gmail account. To do that, all I have to do is type in the word Gmail. So like for instance, if I said use my Gmail, you can see right here that Codex pops up this notification to let me know that I should install the Gmail plugin. Now, plugins are basically just connectors to third-party tools. So in this case, it's the connection between Gmail and Codex. So I'll install this so that Codex can actually help me with my Gmail. Great. So now when I say this along, Codex has the connection with the Gmail, it knows what I want to do and it will begin getting to work. And this demonstration is one of the best things that I can give you for using Codex. Tell Codex what you want and let it figure out how to get it done. and this is what's happening right here. It's setting up files and folders on my computer to better task my email. I haven't told it how to do that. It's figuring out on its own. With everything now set up and one triage complete, I'm happy with the way that this worked. So I want this to run every day now at 9 a.m. So I'll just tell it to do that. Great. Now run this every morning at 9 a.m. and after submitting that, I'll set up an automation. You can see that right here, and I can even click on this to see what the automation looks like. You can also find automations and plugins over here on the left. So first we have plugins. Let's look at that one. We already covered a Gmail plugin, and you can see all the other plugins that are available here. And in my experience, the more plugins that you have, the more helpful tools like Codex are going to be helping you. So if you use Canva a lot, add Canva. If you want to use Remotion to create motion graphics, add that one. If you use Google Drive or you have a lot of stored in there, you can connect that one up. You can connect Google Calendar. The more you share, the more it's going to know about you and actually be able to take action inside their third-party apps. You can also find your automations up here on the top left under plugins. We have our one automation, morning Gmail triage, but if you set up any other ones, they're all going to appear over here. So if you wanted to edit them or turn them off, this is the place you could do. Now let's do one quick final fun example. Point Codex to any project folder on your computer. I'll select this one right here and click on new chat inside that project. And then you want to tell it, spin up a fun interactive dashboard for me, make it interesting, and from that it made this. So don't feel like you're trapped in the box of what a traditional file is. You can have it create things like this to make the information that's on your computer and in your files a lot more interactive and interesting to look at. So guess what? You now know more than enough to get started with Codex. As you see, it's really not that complicated. Once you master a level of its features, you will be automating all of your busy work in no time. If, however, you want to learn some of the more advanced things you can do with Codex, things like creating videos, having it control your computer, or more advanced automations, let me know in the comment section and I'll see you in the next video.